flow like this. Tell me who got a flow like God.
Coming up, man, we've got a very, very talented and special guest in the building. You know what I mean? Representing for the Afro-Latinas. You know what I mean? But she represents for the Afro-Latinas, Latinos, the black men, black women, people of all colors. You know what I mean? So especially the marginalized people, you know what I mean? And she's very hilarious. I'm sure you've seen her on Netflix or somewhere. And we're going to get into that conversation here and right now. As I told you guys before, we have a super talented, very, 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 very special guest. And this guest is a hybrid of multiple things other than being a phenomenal comedian, an activist, a very vocal political commentator, and all types of things. We're going to get into that with her. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Cuttin Up family, Aida Rodriguez.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing better. I am off Twitter. I've been off Twitter for the last couple of. I saw the social dilemma, and it just made me really scale back on my social media consumption.
I keep hearing about that. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think everything has spin because everything is produced by a production company that is funded by. So you have to just take stuff and just extract what you need. But I've just been very conscious about what I'm allowing into my subconscious mind because it's just too much right now. We're oversaturated. Everybody thinks their opinion is fact.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling. I'm happy because I'm not on. The world could be on fire and I don't even know.
So we'll get. I want to get into when I first saw you. It oddly enough was not stand up. Actually, I first saw you on the Young Turks. Just I watched them I watch my news and stuff on YouTube. I like to see my news in 5-minute clips, and so I was on there and watching it every day. And of course, I started seeing you multiple times and I was like, who is this? Because everyone else, they're all really great hosts and commentators. But you would come on there and you were like the extra real one. And, you would say things that were like, oh, okay, they ain't holding her back. But I loved it. Especially during the social, the beginning of the social unrest. Well, this round of it. Yeah. The beginning of the social unrest, the George Floyd situation, Breonna Taylor, Black Lives Matter protests and whatnot. I seen how vocal you were and, just how you were speaking out for not only black and brown, but you were also specifically singling out black men. And so, I thought that was so important. Somebody with your platform who looks like you do out there also speaking and saying, no, also adding your voice to the national conversation. And so what are you more of a politics person or more comedy? Is it about equal? You're really passionate about it. Like I see you running for an office or something later on.
Perfect answer.
You know what? This is who I am. Like a lot of people have become political. This moment in time has drawn the politics out of people. People who never talked about politics are now engaging because you can feel the pressures of the systemic ills have always been there, but now they're closing in on us and people are just saying, nah, I don't want to do this. I've always been this way. I've always spoken out. Ever since I was very young, it's been important to me to, one, because I'm Afro-Latina and I grew up with a Black Latin family in Miami, understanding that Blackness and Latinidad intersect and that you can be both, and understanding like seeing my uncles get pulled over by the cops all the time, and the way people treated my grandmother, the texturism of the hair, like all that stuff. So it's always been who I am. I'm a comedian, and so I always like to shed light on the people who do this for a living, because when I go back to my career, those people will still be doing this every day. So I don't like to slide into the spaces of the people who do the social work and the civic work as a career. But I mean, I'm the mother of 2 Black children. Like Why would I be politically activated? This is the reality of what we're living in. And I just think we all should be saying it's not okay. It's never been okay. It's been happening forever to always remove Black men from the family because you can't destroy the family that way. Right. And so say it. Like, don't tiptoe around it. Just say it because it's facts.
Yeah. And you're very unapologetic with speaking your mind. And that's one thing that I love about hearing you speak and hearing you on these shows and hearing you even in your stand-up is that you have no problem saying exactly what's on your mind and speaking truth. It's not like you're just talking to talk. You're speaking truth. And
well, they've never given any fucks for what they do to us.
Hello.
They've been doing it for generations and it's always been unapologetic. And it's interesting that when you speak back and you push back on that, they label you and say, wow, she's aggressive and
difficult to work with.
Or the angry woman.
So why should I apologize for loving us? Like, I love us and I stop. And I don't think that should be a stand that I take. That should be our status quo, you know?
Yeah. And speaking of, what are your thoughts? This just came to mind while you were talking about it. And, you know, just in my own, you know, my father's Puerto Rican, so I have a lot of Puerto Rican family. And, you know, just seeing that dynamic. And then also, you know, I used to own nightclubs. And one of the clubs I had was a Spanish nightclub. And, you know, we would have people that would come from all over. It would be Puerto Rican, Mexican, Honduran, you know, Dominican, all types. And it kind of baffled my mind, you know, where I would see, I literally remember having this conversation with a guy and it was two guys. They were from Honduras and they looked like my cousin. Rob is my cousin. They look like him, but if you tried to tell them they were Black, they got super mad. And they were like, no, I Honduran. He was like, no, Negro, you Black. What do you think is behind that mentality with people who are, you know, the blackest of Black still, and not even just them, you know, others that look like you and I, you know, or whatnot, still, you know, like, no, I'm not Black. What do you think is behind that?
Well, I mean, it's colonization and it's the greatest mind screw of all time. And now when you're seeing the effects of it, where you thought we were moving forward, and now you see, you know, Black American people who don't want to be associated with Black people that come from other countries and label them as immigrants. And, you know, like, rightfully, I understand the plight of the Black American and their particular situation in this country as being the descendants of the slaves of this country, and many of us are the descendants of slaves of other countries. But it's just the greatest mind. I mean, if you pay attention to what's happening now, the breakdown of everybody breaking down into even smaller groups within the groups, it's just to water us down. And that is self-hate. And people from other countries are always being told that Black Americans are lazy, that they are, you know, they're violent, all the lies, everything that the colonizer has been projected onto their victims. And so you have people like, I grew up in Miami and Haitians would always say, I'm not Black. The Jamaicans would be like, I'm not a Yankee, you know, like they will let you know that I'm not like, but it's all the lies that have been told about, I mean, a black period worldwide. And what's happening right now is just a breakdown. And listen, when people send me messages all the time when I'm on the Young Turks, and they're like, you're Puerto Rican, you're not a descendant of a slave in America. Puerto Rico is a colony of America. Right? It's a colony.
And it's definitely a slave port.
Yeah, it's been colonized multiple times. It was colonized by America. And when we talk about reparations, we start talking about, you know, they don't deserve the reparations here. They deserve their own reparations. Spain owes them reparations. You know, Spain owns the Dominican Republic reparations. France owns Haiti's We have this whole reality of all these people that have been disenfranchised and be constantly told that it's the other group taking from them. Like you hear Black American people now saying, oh, the immigrants, they come here and they take our stuff. They got us fighting for crumbs while they feast. And so we're all thinking, oh, the immigrants are coming to take us. What are the immigrants taking from anybody? The immigrants are in cages. They come in here, they're making money, they pay taxes, and they don't get benefits, and they gotta hide.
And they take the worst jobs and the lowest paying jobs.
Yeah, and when we talk about immigrants, I'm not just talking about Mexicans and South Americans. Yeah. Black people come here from Africa who are immigrants. Yeah. People, Haitians come here, you know, like, and let's mind you, a bunch of white people come here who are immigrants that come here to commit crimes and to do the unruly from Eastern Europe, and we never think about them. But now that we have this fight, you see them on Twitter, they coming after this person, and you not foundational Black person, and you not this, and you ain't that. And while we're doing all of that, they keep passing laws, and they having conversations in the Supreme Court about whether Black votes should count.
That's right.
And I ask you, think about it. If the Supreme Court is discussing if Black votes should count, do you think that they're just saying Black American votes? Right. Oh no, the Haitians are going to be able to vote. Oh no, it's all, and so we just sit in this perpetual cycle of now. It's all rooted in anger and fear and pain. But it's just all of us have been told the lie, and we believe the lie, and now we're projecting all this hatred into our brothers and sisters, when what we need right now more than ever is solidarity.
Definitely. Exactly. Definitely. It's like I used to tell people, and they'd be like, what color are you? Like, what's your race? And I'd be like, I'm Black. And they'd be like, no, but you got this look and this and that. So like what's your actual ethnic background? And I'm like, look, man, you keep it real simple in America. You're whatever color you are when you get pulled over by the police.
Exactly. Hello.
That's what color you are. Okay. That's the truth. So get all of that out of your head, or what? Oh, they'll treat me different because I'm Dominican, or I'm this or that. No, they see us all as one thing. But let's also want to get into more about yourself for those of the people that are not familiar with you, which I don't know how, but just in case somebody's under a rock somewhere. Let's talk about, so your crowning glory, your day job is you're a professional stand-up comedian, and I've seen you're really talented. It definitely had me laughing. And can we talk a little bit about how you got started in the business? And I wasn't asked how long, but you're obviously only 25, so
indeed, he's a charmer.
He's good with it, so he's smooth.
But now, I started doing stand-up 12 years ago. I came to Los Angeles to be an actress, a writer, and I came here to do film in particular. And then I fell into comedy, something I always wanted to do, and I kept getting deterred from. And I was on Jamie Foxx's Foxhole. I would come on and do some guest hosting, and they boosted me up to do stand-up. Chris Spencer, who wrote The Real Husbands of Hollywood.
Yeah, shout out to Chris Spencer.
Chris was the one that made me get on stage. He was like, yo, you're a comedian. You're going to go. And he wrote it down for me. He said, here, go try it. And I've been doing it ever since. So it was Chris Spencer, the Jamie Foxx camp, all of them. They're comedians, and they could see it. They knew what it was when they saw it, and they coerced me to do it. And I've been doing it ever since.
I did see you were doing a show where you were playing yourself as, was it your mother or grandmother?
I'm on the show, I'm playing myself, but there are 3 versions of me. So there'll be a little girl playing me when I was little. I'm actually working on a film where I'm going to be playing my grandmother.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Are you producing this, or you?
I am going to produce it. I'm writing it. I had a deal on it this year. And so one of the people who I'm producing it with, who's a very good producer, who's produced like some really great movies, she was like, no, you're gonna have to write it, direct it, and be in it. So this is a challenge.
So you're directing too?
I'm gonna direct the movie, yeah.
Many talents.
That's dope.
That's a lot of work.
Have you directed before?
I've directed before on a smaller scale, like some short films, like a web series, never a feature film. But I feel comfortable because the producer is she's an Oscar-winning producer.
Nice.
She's also an Afro-Latina woman.
Yes.
She knows me. She knows who I am. So I think that with her guidance, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's talk about another huge win for you. Of course, there are other videos and other specials out there that you've done, but They Ready. That seemed to hit like an atom bomb when it came out. I was familiar with you already, but I was introduced to Flame
nice.
as well. That was the first time I'd ever seen Flame, and I was like, this is interesting, and you know, it's something you don't see all the time. So I was really interested in like, okay, how is this gonna go? You know, how is a comedy from? And for those of you that don't know, Flame is a transgender.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was my first time ever seeing a transgender person doing comedy. So I was like, what are these jokes going to be like?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so I really tuned in. I came for you, but then I ended up tuning into Flame as well. And Flame was funny as hell. And I was like, okay, this is a different perspective. It's hilarious. But can you give us a little insight of how that came about for those that are not familiar?
So Tiffany and I are friends just off rip. We've been friends since I started doing stand-up. She's been a part of my comedy career, my whole career. We've always been friends, and we've done a lot of things together. We always support each other, and we did we did reality shows at the same time. I did Last Comic Standing, and she did a show called Funniest Wins that was on TBS. And we made this pact that we made two. We were like, we don't want to win, we just want to make it to the top, to the finals. And then we said, whoever blows first goes back to get the other.
That's right.
So that was our pact. So a few years later, I'm talking to Tiffany on.
This is Tiffany Haddish we're talking about, right?
Tiffany Haddish. I'm talking to her on a Thursday before Girls Trip comes out. And she's like, yo, I don't know what I'm about to do, but I got to get a job. You know, like, this movie's coming tomorrow, but I still got to we got to keep moving because you do a project, move on. And she was like, really stressed out about what she was going to do. She was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I got to book something. I feel like I'm stagnant right now. Movie comes out the next day and boom, that Monday, Variety, I think it was Variety that was like, Tiffany Haddish is the funniest person on the planet. And that was
awesome.
it.
Yeah.
Catapulted her.
It just took it there. So then she's a star now. She's really busy. And we have a conversation shortly after that about her doing a comedy special. So we always, we support each other. We'll say, hey, you need somebody to write, I got you. You know, if you need some jokes, if you need for me to hear them out. We were having that conversation and she said, no, when I get a special, I want to do a special with my friends. And if I get this deal with Netflix, I'm gonna produce 6 comedy specials. And I don't know where she got the number 6 from, but that Tiffany's very, you know, she thinks the way she thinks. So she said, 6, I'm gonna do this. And she was like, I'm gonna create 6 specials for my friends. We talked about the people. We both were like, you know, she said, well, I know I want you, I know I want April, I want Shantae, I'm thinking about Flame. Like we talked it out. And I just buried it in the back of my head because she had just become so big and so busy that I didn't think she had time to do that at the time when she did it.
And that's also Hollywood. Like you have plans and, you know, you talk with people, you have great conversations.
So much stuff going on.
Some stuff happens and then some stuff just kind of fades and it's not anybody nefarious reason. It's just, you know, things don't line up and then it's gone.
That's it. And so when I got the call, because she was preparing me for it. Like she was like, I need you to start working on your stuff. Because I had been working on my hour and I was going out. I had showcased it for HBO. I had gone out and tried to get an hour with the networks. So when she said, I want you to do this, and then everyone who advises me was like, it's best if you do 30 minutes. Go in, hit it hard, and then they're going to want more. And then the hour special will come. So I got a call. My agent called me one day and was like, "Hey, I got this offer for you for They Ready." And I was like, "Well, damn, like this really happened. Like it happened a lot sooner than I thought it was going to happen because she had the time to do it."
Well, that's dope. How would it feel like being there with your friend and with the others and coming out there knowing that it was? Did you know it was going to be a big deal like it was, or was that a surprise?
It was a surprise. There were 2 days of taping. I went the first day because I went to take flowers to my girls who were performing that day. And I wanted to support them and watch them perform. And so I went and saw them, and the energy was great. It was different. You know, it was a whole different. I didn't realize so many people were going to show up for my taping. People were turned away. Like I was getting messages. People, I came. I've had standing ovations before, but never like that long, and that it was. Yeah, no, I didn't expect. I was really nervous. I was just oh yeah, I did twice. We did 2 tapings, and the whole time I was just like, I just want to get the jokes right, because at the end of the day, for me, everything is about the jokes, right? Because my writing is what's always gotten me to the next place. It's never been popularity. It's never been looks. It's never been who I'm dating. It's always been my writing. It's always been like, I don't go viral for it. If you notice, like the videos I go viral for is always my jokes. Like I could do a sketch and 13 people will watch it. But my video that they just Netflix posted 12 million views as of now. Like it just always my my writing. So that's what was important to me. I was gonna wear a suit that I had made. There was a white suit, and this was before Super Bowl, that had this Puerto Rican flag on it, that at the end I was gonna do this thing and you'll see the flag. And the pants were like, they didn't have any lining in them. Like it was just poorly constructed. So I had to go to like, I went to this outlet mall and I bought that jumper like the day before.
Oh, wow.
The day before. And I was, cause I storyboard my stuff. Like I always know what I'm gonna wear from Last Comic Standing on. Every outfit, everything is always on a storyboard right here. So it was just like, that was like a hiccup in the road. And then I was like, y'all, fuck all that. Well, all this push, what matters is the material and the content. And so, no, I didn't expect to be like that. I was told they didn't expect it either. You know, she had to fight really hard for me to get a special. They didn't see it. And it was, I don't think they even expected it to be, you know, to get the views that it got, and for me to like, because I was third, you know, like Netflix is like the episodes, people fall off. Like they'll watch the first one. I was third, and no, the response was not what I expected. I'm thankful for it. And it's created a lot more opportunities for me. So I'm very thankful.
Yeah, well, people were very excited about it. I remember when it came out, you know, I was anticipating it. And like I said, by that point, I had already was seeing you on TYT and started following you and was keeping up and learning more about you and whatnot. Then I saw that was announced and that was coming. And I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to check that out. And so I did go and watch yours. I watched yours, but it inspired me to watch the others as well. You know, no shade to the other comedians. I just wasn't as familiar. And but I was, you know, I saw the quality of it. I saw how good it was, how good you were. And I was like, well, the rest of them got to be somewhere in that similar caliber to be on it. So I went ahead and watched the rest as well. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. Hats off to you and those ladies for what you guys accomplished. Definitely. 2
of those women are really good friends of mine. Shantae Wayans and April Macy are 2 of my closest friends. Tiffany, you know, Shantae and I are very close. We actually watch For Life together on FaceTime. We FaceTime and watch TV. She's one of my closest friends. We're all very close. And so I love Flame. Flame and I came together as a result of They Ready. I had met Flame before, but not known Flame. Tracy, Ashley, and I were on Last Comic Standing together. I love Marlo. Marlo is a friend of Tiffany's, and we used to be on the Foxhole together. So it was good to see other people win. Like, we get so caught up in thinking that there's only room for one of us to win. You know, it was so good to just be able to take that like jump with my girls, you know, because April and Shantae are my friends in real life. And if I quit comedy tomorrow, they would still be my friends.
Ooh, I love.
And it's important. It's hard to maintain that in Hollywood. It's hard to maintain those connections and real, like, genuine relationships. And like Wavyy and I, we're all actors and, you know, MCs and everything. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I know, I follow you too.
Oh, you follow me too?
Yeah.
I'm winning, boy. No, but no, so, you know, we, you know, he and I met actually before we ended up working on this show Unsolved together. It was on USA. It's on Netflix now. And, you know, he played Biggie. I played Suge in that one. And it's funny because we met. We met online because I seen a post because I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I thought he was from there. I seen a Fayetteville Observer post, an article about him being on Unsolved, and so I'm like, hey, you know, what's up, man? Shout out to, you know, my fellow Fayetteville guy, you know, congrats, etc. And I hadn't accepted the role yet. They were just talking to me about it, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to, because I just played Suge in the theaters and then was going to that, so I was like, I don't know. And I talked to him, and you know, he was like, "Yeah, thanks, my guy, but I'm from Long Island, but yeah, thanks." So I was like, "Oh, well, you know, I take it back." No, but I was still like, you know, my man. And so we communicated, you know, via social media for a minute, and then I took. Did I even tell you that I took the job, or you just saw me?
No, I just seen you.
Okay, yeah. So when we had last talk, I didn't even know I was going to take the job, but we had gotten cool, and then we got on set, and, you know, he popped up, and I was in a meeting with the producers, and he popped up and was like, hey, you know, and we were talking, and you see he's sitting here now, so we were just friends the whole time, and it's nice to have those non-Hollywood, genuine friendships, and, you know, people that are all in the clouds and whatnot. And but I want to talk also about some of the other things you got going on. Let's talk about Truth Serum.
I just want to say one thing. Suge Simon is what I call him. Suge is a friend of mine, and me and he used to be cool back in the day when I first moved here. Mm-hmm. One of the nicest people to me ever. Like I remember I was at Roscoe's waiting to go get something to eat. We were in line, and I was with my kids. And he moved us to the front of the line and told the people that I was never to wait when I come there to eat.
Awesome.
I did the same thing for Wavyy. That's crazy. Mine wasn't as cool as that, though. They just graced us with moving to the front of the line.
Oh, my God.
He was like, I got to come with you to Roscoe's more often.
But, you know, it's like people, people are multifaceted, and, you know, even though Suge has been problematic and has had his issues, he was always very kind to me. And my son was getting bullied at school, and he sent a message like, if y'all don't fall back off him, y'all gonna deal with
that's super dope.
So,
Uncle Suge.
And but it's like, you know, to have Suge Knight in that, you know, in a moment like that, it's just interesting to see. So when I saw that you played him, I was like, oh, Simon, because that's what I call him. I don't call him.
Is his name Simon?
Nah, from what I was told, it was because whatever he said went, so they called him Simon, like Simon Says.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody calls him Simon. Like his wife calls him Simon. Like that's where, I mean, he and I have always had a very platonic relationship. Let me speak. His wife be shooting up shit, but no, I've never. He's, you know, everyone around him. I met his son. I mean, like, I remember just everyone that's close to him, Corrupt, all of them. They call him Simon. They don't call him.
Wow. Yeah, and he has a like you said, he's definitely multifaceted, because you can ask. When I got into this whole endeavor of portraying him first in film, you know, I had to learn beyond the headlines and all of that stuff of, you know, all the boogeyman stuff you heard of. And that's what I was mostly interested in, was because I know everybody's a human. So there's humanity, You know, if you're a human, you got more, in most cases you got more than one side.
Yeah, you do.
And, you know, the media, they'll play up whatever side the narrative that they want to run. And and he was making too much money back then and not, you know, playing ball like the labels wanted. So of course, you know, they didn't want you to look at him as a great guy.
Right.
And but you know, you talk to one group of people and the person they describe is nothing like what, you know, you grew up hearing or, you know, all the rumors and whatnot. And then you talk to some other people and they're like, oh, that evil bastard. You know what I mean? So it's all about what your interaction was with the person. Well,
I never tried to play like I was a gangster. I always approached him like I was a woman, and you know, I was relatively young when I met Suge. But I watched people around him. Everybody tried to find the gangster within every time they got around him, and it's like I don't want to be a part of that life. Like I don't want to know about. You know, I'll be like, I remember one time he was like, you gonna ride with me? And I was like, hell no. I was like, the last time I saw somebody ride in that car, they made a move.
I know that's right.
I love it.
True story.
We were cool. Like if anything ever looked like they started talking about stuff, I would just remove myself because I you know, I ain't no gangster. So I was like, I'm not trying to be a part of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So tell us about True Serum. Let's, you know, let the good people know what it is and where they can participate and enjoy it. So
Truth Serum is a visual podcast that I do on a weekly basis, Fridays at 12 p.m. Pacific time, where I have different voices come on and people of color, people from marginalized groups mainly, come and talk about issues from our perspective and our point of view. Nice. Because I've been on the Young Turks and I've done a lot of, you know, I'm always on panels and always talking about our issues. But I feel like a lot of times it's always white people talking about our issues, speaking for us, as if we don't have political point of views. And so when you look at the mainstream stuff, when you see people talking about these things, it's always like the people who have a name, the people who have the big, you know, millions of followers. Yeah. So I set out to bring the voices of people who do the work, who may not necessarily have the millions of followers, that have something to say that is impactful to our communities, and whose opinions and point of views I think are just as valuable. I've had big name people like Charlamagne did it, and I had Killer Mike did the show.
Shout out to Killer Mike.
Yes.
Yep.
I had Ben Crump did it, and Van Lathan, and like Angela.
Good list there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I've had some good, like Angela Yee came and did it, and Ebony Williams. But I've also had people who, you know, whose names you may not know that are doing a lot of the work and whose voices are just as important. And I need those people to sustain the show for me so that I can bring the other names of the people who necessarily have the following. So I decided to keep it independent. So I put it on YouTube. It airs on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And we got some, I mean, it's doing very well. The numbers are really good. People show up and they really engage. And yeah, we have a fun show. We broke down like all the propositions that were on the ballot last week.
Dope.
Okay.
Dope. Well, we're not gonna hold you forever. We know you're a busy lady and whatnot. We just are very thankful and very appreciative of you joining us and bringing.
Thank you for coming on.
All of our guests is kind of the same way. We're cutting up, so you know we act crazy most of the time, but we talk about real stuff as well. So all the guests we have on, we did the same thing. My partner, I decided to stay independent with it and own it all, so we could say whatever the hell we want, speak on whatever we want, with no corporate voices saying, "Hey, you can't say that." You know, so we could speak on our issues, speaking on things in our community as well, freely. You know, and so we have celebrities, we have, you know, from politics to people that are out there just putting in the work, you know, and doing great things. And so, you know, you being on here is special for us because it's not just, it's Aida Rodriguez, but it's who you are, what you stand for, and not only your talent, which is the comedy, but also the other ways. You're very active out here. And so that's the kind of people we like to bring up.
That.
Yeah, we're going to have to get her up on the...
Shirts, though. I want one of these dopest chick in the game shirts.
Wait. I got a shirt for
is that,
you.
Is that
I got
yours?
some shirts. No, this one isn't mine. But listen, let's shout them out because they're super dope. So it's actually called the Dope Chick Co. And like so I make shirts myself, but I love to support us. And so I saw them and I saw somebody wearing something. I was like, ooh, that's super dope. And I always like, oh, you dope. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and look them up and buy it. And I love it. Like I can't wait to wear it. Like,
DM me it because I want to get one. I actually used to say I'm the dopest chick in the game that wears her own chain.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, nice. She's actually got her own shirt and hoodie line.
I got my own.
But it's definitely the messaging, the message. It has messages.
I'll send that to you as well.
For you. So we'll get you.
Please, I'll support it.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll get you. We'll get you that, and we'll get you a Cuttin' Up shirt also. You know what I mean? You can rock a Cuttin' Up shirt. Yeah, probably send you like Cuttin' Up shirts, some mugs, and all kind of stuff.
Send it for real. Every time I do a show, people tell me they're gonna.
Oh no, Cuttin' Up, we don't play. Yeah.
And I never because I don't be wanting they shit because it be
right.
But Cuttin' Up is like that's great, and send it. I'll wear it. I never. People send me stuff, and my agent be like, "You gonna wear that?" And I'm like, "Somebody looks like me made it. Adidas not paying me. I'm
right.
Exactly.
That's
so we'll get that to you. We'll get in we'll get an email sent to you to get your info, and we'll get you that stuff over there ASAP. And let the people know where they can find you on all your social medias and contacts. Well, not your personal contacts.
Oh no! I don't. I see everybody putting out their numbers, and I'm like, yeah, y'all. Funny AIDA is on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch at Funny AIDA at Funny Aida, and Facebook because somebody got my name. It's my first name AIDA.Rodriguez, and actually I didn't. I just looked at my page and I saw it was like 200,000 people on there. I don't go to Facebook. If you look, you'll see that it'll be a post from one and then a month ago.
That
so I have.
Me.
The girl, I can't. It's too toxic.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I get into too many arguments over Trump on Facebook. I had to just stay off of it.
I just can't pay attention longer.
I'm like, it's too much. So, but that's it. And so, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. I love it.
Most definitely. And hopefully, we end up working together at some point in time. I'm getting ready to start work with Luis. I told you that. Yeah. So I just found out he's playing one of the other new characters on this show that I'm also.
Congratulations. He's doing stand-up too, because that's why he calls me, because we're supposed to go do some shows together.
I didn't know he does stand-up.
Yeah, it's new. He got George Lopez put him on stage and he got bit by the
because he's freaking hilarious. I always wonder why he didn't do it. Yeah. And he's multifaceted too. Like he's and this wait till you see. I can't tell all the details, but he is an asshole in this show. But in that funny it was like when you read it, it's like I was reading the script and I was like, oh yeah, you couldn't have got anybody but Luis, because he's got to be. He's crucial, but he's in a funny way, and he's really good at those stuff. He can be hilarious or he can go straight evil. So I'm excited to see him. Yeah. I've never met him.
Oh, you're gonna? I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna text him. He'd be like, man. Oye, nena. Like he calls me like I like you. That's the FaceTime. Oye, nena. He's already. I'm like, hello, hi.
Yeah, so I haven't met him personally, so I'm excited because I've been me and my friend, close friends and family. We've been huge Luis Guzman fans for years.
I'm gonna text him.
Yeah, so when I saw, I was like, who? I was like, oh. It's on. I'm gonna come on the set just doing the salsa, like, oh yeah, papa. Just to mess with him, but make sure you guys follow Aida, and we appreciate you and hope to see you again soon in the future.
Absolutely.
You will see me. SDOT Lee, and I love us, and I won't stop. So thank you for having me.
And we love you too.
We need your energy. Yes, we need that.
Most definitely.
Yes. Melanin is divine. Don't forget.
Indeed. Most definitely. All right.
Bye.
Why they got us cutting up? Why they got us cutting up?